had something else to say, but it went away.
I would tell you I'm going to edit this out, but I'm definitely not. Now that you've done the fake crying, this is staying in. Hello and welcome to Producer Spotlight episode 2. I'm joined today by the lovely Veela.
Hello.
And we're going to be asking quite a lot of questions today, but they're going to be ones that hopefully you won't have heard on the Q&As on Veela's channel. But those are full of very good questions, so if you like what you hear on here, please do go and check out the Q&As on her channel along with all her music, which I'm sure you are very familiar with. We'll start off with a few standard questions for people who might not know much about you yet, but then we'll ask some questions that aren't as focused on your production techniques and showcase you more as a person and get to know a bit more about that, because it's a bit more fun, isn't it, really? Now, I did a bit of research into what Veela actually means. It was a pretty interesting journey. Now, according to Wikipedia, Veela are the Slavic versions, is that Slavic versions of nymphs who have power over storms, pretty cool, which they delight in sending down on lonely travellers. Nice. But then I got another definition from the Urban Dictionary, and that told me that Veela is the male sex organ formerly known as a penis. Now, which of those is more accurate, would you say?
I would like to point out that I chose my name before the penis was changed to a Veela, so I did not choose it because of that.
Okay.
So, I might get more attention on the internet if it were. But, I mean, Veela, my name, it has a really good ring to it, and I would like to just do kind of a side note, because I've been getting a lot of emails lately from people who have these ridiculous artist names. And when you're choosing an artist name, you can't have something that is so long and have like the, people write in like the capitals and then the non-capital letters.
Yeah.
Just to, have it look artsy, but it doesn't work. And I've rejected stuff just on that basis. Like, you can't have your name like that. People would respect me much less, I hope. So, I mean, I like the way it sounds. It's short and sweet. It looks good on paper.
Yeah, and it's you get every now and then there's someone who decides to call themselves like Slap Dem Hoes or something like that, and you just facepalm every time.
Exactly. I mean, I've got a permanent bruise here for every time someone's given me a stupid name, but it's always fun when a name has mythology behind it, and this one definitely does have lots of things that you can choose whether or not you want to believe in.
So there you have it. Dig a little deeper. She didn't choose the name because it is another way of saying penis. So in terms of production-wise, let's just get this out of the way. First production question. You use FL Studio. And is that the only digital audio workstation you use? And would you recommend it over others?
Whenever I get this question, I always put it in two different sections. One is that I use FL Studio because most of the work I do is recording vocals. For me, it's the easiest DAW I've ever used to record vocals. I can see them all there. It's very easy for me to manipulate. Though, like any instrument, because these programs are really instruments, you have to learn them. And a lot of people get so discouraged very early on because it's daunting. Like, there's so many new buttons and it's hard to process everything. And FL Studio is it's a complicated one. But when you learn it, I feel like it's very easy to get your thoughts on paper fast. FL Studio isn't very good for anything live because there's no live function. So when I do DJing, I use Ableton Live because I can trigger things in real time and all of that. So I use that as my favorite for live, and then for actual production and vocal recording, I use FL Studio.
Yeah. So at what point did you decide to give YouTubing a go?
It was a long time ago. I think it was like 2008 or something, but I never really posted anything on it. I just kind of had it because when artists are starting out, they like to have, all the social network sites done. I figured YouTube was just another one of them, but I didn't really do videos. I didn't post any of my songs on there, and it's only in the past year that I've been doing the every Friday is an upload, and that's been working so well for me. It gives artists a source of income if you put ads on your videos. It's and it reaches a whole other audience because a lot of times the YouTube crowd is very different from the Facebook crowd, which is where most of my fans are. So it's really easy for me to use, and I'm very happy with it.
One thing, talking about your Facebook page, that I picked up on quite quickly when I was doing a bit of research was the whole mama cat thing that you've got going on. And how did that start, and where does that come from?
Well, I'm not quite sure where it comes from, where it originated from, but I mean, I guess if people look on my page, they'll always see at least like one cat a month because I like cats and I like how cute they are.
They are pretty funny. They're always up to something, those cats.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I think it was just one of my fans called me Mama Cat one day, and I thought it was so cute. I go, okay, well, that's what I want everybody to address me as.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of grown exponentially. It's kind of funny. I like it though.
I think one of the things that really endears you to your fans is how open you are with them about, well, you got this nickname with the Mama Cat thing, and then you just let your personality come through a lot in your videos, a lot more than many other producers. And as much as this endears them, it does lead to some quite creepy comments, I think, because you obviously got a very good relationship with your subscribers, but I mean, let's just take this one from one of your Q&A videos I was watching. Someone had posted, watched twice, one time listening, and another time just watching the light dance on you. What goes through your...
Which one that's from. I know which one. Isn't that the one where the blinds are kind of on my face?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
Well, what goes through your mind when you get these comments?
Well, I think that if you're any kind of female on YouTube, you're going to get these kinds of comments, no matter what you're doing. I mean, some of them I have to take screenshots of because they're so funny. And sometimes I usually, if some of them are just unnecessarily like, if people are starting stuff on my page, like, and on one of my videos right now, there's a debate about religion going on in the comments. It has nothing to do with my video, but they are just going at each other about everything like that. So I do read all of my comments, and I make sure that I kind of stop those conversations from starting because it draws negative attention. But creepy comments is part of the job, I think.
Yeah. I mean, with regard to the whole religion thing, like, it is ridiculous how much trolling goes on, particularly on YouTube. Not so much on Facebook, I guess, because you're a bit more accountable for what you say, but on YouTube it's just all the time. Like, I watched the new Assassin's Creed trailer earlier, and it's just all, oh, he killed an American rather than a British guy, la 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 la, and you just want to be like, shut up.
Oh, I know.
Now, you've collaborated with some big names to produce some truly incredible songs. I mean, my personal favourite is Time Bomb. massive fan of that. And I mean, I doubt you can choose a favourite, but what song would you say is the most successful?
The most successful is probably a tie between Blackmail's Let It Be and Maduk's Ghost Assassin, the one I wrote about Kerrigan from StarCraft 2. Those are the two that have gotten the most attention.
Now, one of the questions in your Q&As that I found a bit puzzling was when someone asked if you could work with any producer, who would you work with? To which you answered Emancipator and Rebecca Black. Is that still true? And if so, why them?
Well, I mean, Emancipator goes without saying because he's absolutely incredible. And anybody who's a true fan of me knows that Rebecca Black is one of the most honest, hardworking artists in the world, in my opinion. So I really wanted to shed some light on how brilliant of a role model she can be. And she's definitely one of the people I would want to collaborate, if I could, with anybody in the world. So,
if the whole music thing hadn't worked out as well as it has, because, let's face it, it's worked out pretty well, what do you think you would have ended up doing? Would you have focused more on your clothing designs or gone in a completely different direction?
I mean, there's two ways I would answer this, but I'm just trying to decide. I mean, the bigger part of me wants to say that there is no other option. There's no doubt in my mind that it's going to work out. There's no other way for me. It's just, I know that I am going, even when I started out, I knew this was going to be successful eventually. And there's no stress in my life wondering and biting my nails whether or not, my songs are going to be successful or if I'm going to have enough to eat the next day, because there's no possibility in my life that I'm going to fail. I know it's going to work. I mean, another one of my, I guess, interests that could probably take over, if I had a change of heart and wanted to do something different, I mean, there's so many things that I love. I mean, I love making my cosplay. I think I could definitely do that professionally if I devoted all my time to it, and put more money into them, and time and effort and all of that. That'd be really fun to do cosplay, and I love gardening, and I love all kinds of things. So I'd be all over the place, I think.
Yeah, I'm quite similar in terms of I'm quite eclectic, so I just have lots of different things that I really enjoy doing, but finding the time to be able to focus on any of them is just really, really hard. Alright, let's go into hypothetical situations. So, if you could borrow the voice of any other singer for a day, not that you would want to, obviously, because you have an amazing voice, but whose voice would you want to borrow?
Lil Jon. Because Lil Jon, all he does is yell a couple of words in every single song.
Like that.
Exactly. And he is so successful. That's all he has to do. Just, yeah! And good. Go. So that's absolutely...
Have a little rap down with None Like Joshua and...
Well, I mean, he's no competition.
If you could take one song from anyone and release it as your own, what song would it be?
There are two songs that I could think of. I mean, one of them that I've always thought is absolutely brilliant, but it's very well known, is Morgan Page's Fight for You, with Nessie as the vocalist. But I mean, her voice is just so incredible. It really makes the song. I would also love to have all the credit for all of Lorraine the McKinnon songs. All of them.
Yeah, I feel that way about so many artists. I just listen to a song and I'm like, wow, if I had made this, I would die happy. Like,
Exactly. Why didn't I think of that?
exactly, yeah. Most people remember the first dubstep song they hear. So, do you have any idea what yours was?
I mean, to be honest, I probably heard it and then turned it off because I didn't like it. But first dubstep song, it probably would have been Bass Nectar. Because I don't know if it really counts as dubstep, but it was probably
Don't
the
worry,
one
I'm not
really
going to get all
enjoyed was
hipster
Huh?
about what's dubstep and what's not and all that.
I think it was probably the Ellie Goulding remix he did. It's not
That
really
is a
dubstep,
huge tune, to be fair. That is...
but it's still good. So
I
don't know.
listened to that a lot when that came out. And
Yeah.
it was one of those songs that I heard it and then I went straight on Facebook and copied the link on and was like, you all need to listen to this now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love
I
that
felt
one.
the same way. So that was probably the most. I mean, that's the one I think of.
Now, who would be your favourite act to see live and why?
Dub Effects,
Oh, great
because
choice.
he is absolutely brilliant. I mean, as a vocalist, primarily it's like a drug watching the guy.
Yeah.
And it kills me because he came to my hometown of Victoria, but I wasn't there. And I was so sad. And my friend Gareth got to actually meet him and have dinner with him.
Oh, wow.
And and he brags about it all the time. It makes me feel so bad about it. And it would definitely be Dub Effects I'd want to see.
I remember when I found his YouTube channel, I just spent a day solid just sat there watching everything that he had on there. Love Dub FX. I think I've got one of his sample packs actually. I've got your sample pack as well, the Siren one. I'll have to work that into a tune at some point. So something that we share is a very eclectic taste in music, from what I can tell. But if you could be considered, say, the queen of a certain genre, which one would you choose to be queen of?
Probably the first person to meld together Celtic music and electronic music, because those are my two loves. And I mean, if I had to choose one, I'd probably choose Celtic because it's what's closest to my heart.
See, now
So,
we are talking hypothetically, but there's no reason why you couldn't do that. Because
You're right.
it hasn't been done. So
You're right. And I mean, I don't think people notice very often, but most of the melodies I create are Celtic based. Like, they're all very old, sort of Irish sounding trills and things like that. Every once in a while, people are like, geez, where'd you get that? Like, sounds just like this Celtic song or whatever. But it's, I mean, I am producing a couple of songs at the moment. They haven't been released, but it's slow, and I've got a lot of things to finish, so it's kind of all over the place. But yes, you're right. I should really do that.
now, for those who don't know, you were obviously born with purple hair. But what would someone have to pay you to change it? Like, to cut it short or dye it blonde? What would the price be on that?
I'm so uncomfortable with dyeing my hair. I don't like dyeing my hair. I think it's bad for your hair. It just, I mean, it would have to be a lot of money and a house and a pool and a couple of boats and exotic animals, because I don't want to put my hair through that.
I mean, I think once you're going for a house and boats, you need like a tiger at least or something in the house. Otherwise, you've missed out.
And it needs its own little jungle to rock around in.
Oh yeah, you can't leave that shit roaming around the house.
You're damn right.
Now, if one day, when you've become the queen of the Celtic electronic music hybrid, and they decide to make Veela the movie, who would you cast to play you in it?
Christopher Walken.
Okay. And if he was unavailable and they said, Christopher Walken, not going to cut it, we need a female, that'll be it. Christopher Walken or you're walking.
I'm going to put that in a song.
Moving on. So, if there was a real full-on zombie outbreak, what would you do to make sure you survived?
What would I do to make sure I survived? Well, first off, you have to make sure that, I always thought that the best thing during a zombie outbreak would be to have one of those storm shelters, like underground. So if you have one of those pre-built with a bunch of guns in it, you're fine. And you just crawl down and have some rations, pickled eggs. Is that what you people like, is pickled eggs?
You people? Like, I'm a zombie survivor? Yes, no, we are whores for those pickled eggs.
I watch too much Doctor Who and they like pickled eggs, so...
Could you turn your, whatever you just turned up down, because I can hear myself looped back. Sorry. You hate me right now.
I'm gonna write a comment on all your videos saying that you're a huge diva.
I am. I'm not even gonna lie about it. I am a huge diva. Now, if there was a fire in your house and you could only save 3 things, assuming, your siblings, they get out fine. Can't remember if you have any pets, but they get out fine. Parents just about get out. Now, what are the 3 things that you save?
My teddy bear Woody. My microphone, because I got it's such a good one, and I got it for such a good deal. And
I imagine you've got quite a lot of sentimentality over your microphone as well, if you've been using it for songs.
My microphone is half the reason I'm able to actually do everything. So yes, I'm attached to that thing like crazy. And actually, surprisingly, the third thing I'm thinking of is this little avocado plant that I've been growing for the past 2 years.
Okay.
It's like my child, so I can't let it die in a fire, otherwise all my hard work is gone for nothing.
And, avocados are brilliant, so why waste?
Just as brilliant as pickled eggs.
Yes. They're both up there in the top 10. Now, clearly, as Mama Cat, you are a cat lover. I personally am a dog person, but hey, each to his own. I guess that is partly because I'm allergic to cats. Sorry, I digress. If you could have any animal as a tamed domestic pet, what animal would it be?
It would be a flying bison, like an Avatar. I don't know if you've ever watched that show. Because you're giving me a very empty look right now.
A flying what now?
A flying bison. There's one in Avatar called Appa, and he's so cute. He's really big too, and they like to fly around on him like an airplane.
I hadn't factored into this non-real, or actually, I guess the word I'm looking for is fictional.
Come on! If you're going to ask me a hypothetical question, you have to factor in fiction.
No, that is very, very fair point. In which case, I would revise my penguin into... I've got to go with Pokemon, because that's the closest thing I have to Avatar, really, because I feel like I should watch Avatar. All I ever see are like memes of Avatar jokes that are just straight over my head, and I just feel left behind now. But I would definitely take a Charizard.
That would be an awesome pet.
That's a free flight anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. Same with the flying bison. So I mean, if it's really cute and you can be used as used as transportation, you're good to go.
Good recovery. And we could race. You know.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident because I've got fire and shit. You're just a flying bison.
Well, I could finally prove to you that Canada will beat Great Britain
at flying.
Fictional animals.
Flying mythical animals. Wonderful. Okay, I think we'll let you have that one.
Thank you.
Right. Well, a lot of people focus on your relationship with None Like Joshua. I was on your Facebook earlier and it was just, why won't you admit that you're together and la la la. Does that affect your relationship, knowing that a lot of people are interested in seeing it work? Or do you just put it out of your mind?
Well, I think that in most relationships anyway, that have to do with being out in the public and that a lot of people know about and it's very, obvious. There really needs to be a level of privacy and secrecy, not really secrecy, but more just knowing when to release information and knowing when to keep it kind of personal. Because if everybody knows about it and it's just, sometimes it just gets to be too much and the pressure's too much.
Yeah.
But there's one part of your question I don't quite understand. Who's None Like Joshua?
I think he's a figment of my imagination.
You should probably get that checked out.
I should. I really should. But I mean, I'm surprised you've never heard of him. You do. He does tend to rap along with a lot of your stuff. I mean, I could play you some of his stuff, but then if he's only in my head, maybe you wouldn't be able to hear him.
I mean, maybe all the songs that he's made is also in your head.
Maybe I am None Like Joshua.
You are. Did you just ask me out, or what was that then?
Yeah, that was my really messed up, indirect way of asking you out, because I am terrified of rejection. Speaking of rejection, how many marriage proposals have you had to date, or have you lost track?
Does it count the ones I've considered?
Wow, okay, yeah, go for it.
No, I mean, those are some of the comments that just go over my head. Though I have had a couple of very, very unnerving personal messages, you get on YouTube, of like, I know where you live, and
Oh,
I want
really?
to come over there and take you out on a date.
Wow.
And those are the kind of things that are really scary. And
But
you really should watch out for when you're on the internet. Because people can find out where you live. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Have you ever had anyone show up then and just be like, hey, it's me,
Well,
XX, Nexor, ZZG.
I mean, I'm never home. Like, I'm never at the house that people would find the address for. So, I mean, I guess maybe they have, but I haven't been home.
So, for all the hot-blooded Lotharios out there, how would you describe your ideal man, and does it begin with N and rhyme with Runreich Roshua?
It would be something like someone who's a figment of someone's imagination, and they only come out when that person has schizophrenic episodes, like we may have just witnessed today.
Okay. So you're pretty reliant on me for your...
I'm pretty reliant on you to have a relationship, so you better not die or anything.
Okay, I will bear that in mind when I'm
Okay.
considering, when death comes up and he's like, your time's up, mate. I'll be like, whoa now. It's not just me that we're killing here. Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Now that I have finally sorted out the time difference issues, I hope everyone will enjoy watching this as much as I've enjoyed doing it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. You're a good interviewer.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Great. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Don't go in the toilet.
Don't do that. That's sound advice.
But it's always at inconvenient times like this when I'm either trying to record or I'm having a very high-profile interview.
With a big shot producer.
With a big shot producer who's like super YouTube famous.
Super famous. I mean, people know me. I have
People know
many
you.
leather-bound vinyls, and my desk that I produce on smells of rich mahogany.
I think the fly on the wall might be a little bit overdone.
It was overdone when Miley Cyrus decided to make a song about it. That was when it was overdone.
Anything's overdone when Miley Cyrus tried to make a song out of it.
Boom. Miley Cyrus, if you're watching it, you overdid it. She won't be watching.